Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel English Lovers by Honeydee. Um, so now we are live on YouTube, and as far as the title of my YouTube session is concerned, I can see myself like I'm not that visible properly. I have just switched on my headlight only here over here. So the fact of the matter is, what we're gonna discuss about today is the kinds of sentences which are very much important for everybody, like who is actually aspired enough about to improve, especially the grammar skills. So I'll share the screen with you, and we'll see that what we can do. So here's the screen that has been shared, and here's the stuff that we're gonna talk about. Here is the stuff that we're gonna talk about. Mhm. Yeah. So different kinds of sentences are there, types of sentences, categories of sentences, you know, we discussed about mm, on the basis of function, types of sentences on the basis of function, and types of sentences based upon the structure. So function or the tone, we can say whatsoever it is. First of all, we will discuss this, and then we are going to discuss about the other categories of the sentences, the way they are being there. So before wasting, wasting, sorry, before actually starting further, I would actually request you all to actually share it with your like friends, your like known people who really are interested to improve themselves in English. So um, before moving further, I must tell you that like eh, it can be like not the continuous sessions, but it can be like every now and then kind of sessions that I'm gonna have. Very honest with you, to be very honest with you, I cannot actually tell you that like there would be a certain time that I'm gonna come live or something. Whenever I get some time, I just come live because usually at the night time I have my duties to be done, and then in the morning time some other works are to be worked upon. So right now I was free, so I thought that actually come live and just share it, some share some information with you. But before moving, I must actually request you that to share my channel with lots and lots of people that you know, and tell them also to share it as much as possible so that they can get the benefit of it. Since I'm gonna make that continuous videos for the students, especially the Indian students as well as the students around the world, whomsoever wants to improve their communication skills. So, in the previous video or in the previous live session, I was actually talking about something related to the reading, but now I'm talking something about the grammar. So I'm keeping the language only and only English just because I'm keeping other audience also in the mind because there are lots of subscribers that I have gotten from Canada as well. So for those people, I have to actually stay in the same language as they can know only English. They won't understand Punjabi, they won't understand other language. So for them and for the rest of the people around my country as well, they can actually understand, at least if they cannot speak, at least they can understand English really well. So I'll be talking about the types of sentences today, and we're going to discuss a little bit about it and why we have to know them. Just before that one, I must actually share this live session with uh, my WhatsApp community. I'll share that. Just a second, give me a second. Mm, So there would be live session. Mhm. Yeah. So I'm creating a link and I'm sharing it on Facebook first and then on WhatsApp. Hmm. Yeah. I won't take that amount of time for this live session, let me tell you, because that's all about sentences and the kinds of sentences. Maybe like during the time of explanation, it will go beyond the time limit. So you can share till then. I must write that to the principal. Share it with the students that are studying in your school if they really want to get the benefit for free of cost. So let's begin without wasting further time. Just give me a second. There she go, shaking it and on the floor. Okay, now the types of sentences. What we are talking about today is the types of sentences. We can divide them on the basis of two ways, like one is function and other is structure. So both of the things must be uh, clear to all the people who really want to enhance their knowledge about the kinds of sentences, particularly. So, when it comes to the types of sentences, why we need to know them, because it tells you about the tone of the person, the way the person speaks, and what the person wants to say and what the person wants to convey. And if the person wants to convey something in assertive tone, the person will speak assertive sentence. And assertive sentence can be of two categories. One is, you know, declarative. One can be negative. Like a declaration can be done in two ways, assertive and negative. So assertive would be a kind of positive sentence and negative would be a negative sentence. But the all in all kind of sentence that it is the declarative sentence. So based upon the function, based upon the way it works, the first kind of sentence that we are talking about based upon the function is the declarative sentence. So we are talking about the declarative sentence. Give me a second. Okay. So we're gonna focus on only the declarative sentence. First, I'll just hide myself, or I'll just, yeah, place it like this. Okay, so we have the declarative sentence in front of us. What exactly the definition is? Because I told you that everybody who really want to actually improve themselves, as far as they want to know more about things, they should know the definition of the things. And the definition of declarative, by the word itself, it's quite clear. It will declare something. When it comes to declaration, it will declare something. Declaring means it can be declaring in the negative sense or it can be in the positive sense. It depends upon that. So when it comes to declaration, declaration can be done in negative, declaration can be done in positive. Depends upon the kind of sentence that you are talking about. If we say the sky is blue, sky cannot be sometimes blue. So sky is not blue. We can say the sky is not blue. The sky is not blue. So that will be a negative sentence, which is not written over there, but that's a certain category of the declarative sentence. But what exactly the declarative sentence is? Declarative sentence is a sentence that gives information and ends with a full stop. So what's a basic definition? What's a basic definition? It gives you information. It can be in the assertive tone, can be assertive. Assert means to say something. Assertive tone in a positive sentence. It can be in a negative sense. In a negative sentence. Okay. So There can be a negative and a positive sentences for the declarative kind of category. So when we are talking about a declarative sentence, declaration can be done in a simple sentence, and it can be in a compound sentence. That's a certain category of sentence. Let me tell you, that's not based upon the function, that's based upon the structure. When we are talking or explaining something based upon the structuring of something, so we are talking about the simple sentence, we are talking about the compound sentence, we are talking about the complex sentence, and we are talking about the last but not the least, the compound complex sentence. Okay. When it comes to the structuring. But here we are not talking about the structuring, still it will have a structure. So a declarative sentence can be a simple sentence. A declarative sentence can be a compound sentence. But a declarative sentence must have some meaningful statement. Like it should have a declaration in it. A declarative sentence will not be ending with question mark. A declarative sentence will not be ending with the exclamation sign. So depending upon that one, we're gonna say that a sentence is a declarative sentence or a compound an interrogative sentence or like whatever kind of sentence it is. So for example, if I say I like climbing, in this sentence I say, somebody say like I is our subject here. Okay. Subject is something that we are talking about, like something that we talk about is our subject. So I is something that we are talking about. Like climbing is something that is said about the subject. So that is a predicate. And even we can say that, or it has a verb. Predicate will be having the starting word with the verb. It can be a helping verb, it can be a main verb, it depends upon that one. But in this sentence, we have like climbing altogether is a predicate. So when we say that I like climbing, it's a declaration by someone like whomsoever is I here. Okay. So that person like climbing. So declaration is done. Somebody said that. Somebody can declare that in the negative tone as well. I do not like climbing. I do not like climbing. So it all depends upon what we want to say. If we want to say that whether it is in the negative or the positive, it will make the sense of the sentence. So that is a declarative sentence. Then another kind of sentence is like, so one more example for the same, sorry, is he is 8 years old. He is 8 years old. Or if we say that in other way, like, is he 8 years old? So the tone of the person will change. So that is why I said function to be a tone. So when we say that tone of a person gets changed, we say that somebody's asking question now. Is he 8 years old? Somebody's not confirmed. When you're confirmed, he is 8 years old. When you're confirmed, you will declare. When you're unconfirmed, you will ask. So whenever we are unconfirmed or when we are not confirmed properly, we will ask questions. So questions are those one which will start with the helping verb or with the WH word, depends upon that. But here we are talking about the declarative sentence, different categories. The sky is blue. The sky is blue in color. So declaration is made. He wanted to play football, but his friends wanted to play basketball. So here we have a conjunction that is between these two independent clauses. Independent clause is a clause which will have a subject and predicate or predicate of its own and will have their separate individual meanings. So we will say that declarative sentence is something which will have which can be a simple sentence which will have one subject and one predicate, or more than one subject and one predicate, but one predicate. But when it comes to this one, we'll have two predicates because that will have two different ideas. His friends wanted to play. So wanted to play football, wanted to play basketball, two different ideas. And we have two different subjects here. So then those are joined together with the coordinating conjunction. Okay. Coordinating conjunction. So when we have a coordinating conjunction, then we can say that it is a declarative sentence which is a compound declarative. Compound declarative, why we would say the compound declarative? I'm not actually mixing it up, but I'm trying to tell you that we have divided the two categories of sentence, but those are one and the same thing. It depends upon that one, like it depends upon you that how you take it. Whether you are saying that you want to know the structuring of something, you can say that it is a compound sentence, it is a complex sentence, it is a it is a compound complex sentence, or it is a simple sentence. But when it comes to the functioning of something, then that's the only stuff that you should know, that if something is declared in the sentence, that is a declarative sentence, and it is ending with a full stop. That's the main identification, that's the main identity of the declarative sentence. That's what you should know. Now, second category of the sentence is interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence. What is interrogative sentence? Interrogative sentence is very simple to understand. Interrogative sentences are used for asking direct questions. Direct question, that means there is no indirect questioning here. These sentences end with the question mark. So what is the basic difference? Earlier was ending with the full stop. It is ending with the interrogative sentence. Interrogative interrogative mark, or mark of interrogation or interrogation. So interrogative sentences may begin with WH word or with the helping verb. So whenever the question is being made with the helping verb, just a second. Whenever the question is made with the helping verb, the answer will be in yes or no, or explanation for the same. Explanation for yes or no. Okay. But when it is starting with a WH word, it will end up with something like, when we say why, it will give you the reason. When we say when, it will be asking about the time. When we say where, it will be talking about the place, which place. When it will say how, it will be asking about the manner in which the thing is done. So asking will be done depending upon that. When we say what is the right way to iron a shirt, so here we are asking about the manner, okay, manner in which something is to be done. What we are trying to ask, we are trying to ask about ironing the shirt. So when we say that if we want to know about the method in which the we need to iron the shirt, then we are asking it with the WH word. But the structuring, basic structuring is, always remember that WH word will always come at the first place, and helping verb will come at the second place then. Otherwise, if the same question we are asking, and if we are asking, is it the right way, right way to iron a shirt? If we are asking this question, it's quite clear here what we are asking here. We are asking somebody that, am I doing it right or am I doing it wrong? So the sense will be changed. When we say what is the right way, in this one we are asking, tell me in which way I have to iron the shirt. In the other scenario, when we are asking question with the helping verb, we are asking whether I am doing it right way or not. So sense will change, the tone will change, and even the subject matter is going to get changed even in your answer. When somebody will ask you what is the right way to iron a shirt, you will answer that one. First of all, you need to make the sleeves. You need to actually have to have a iron table. Then you need to put some cloth on that one. You need to have iron. You need to plug it in. So you will tell the steps. But when it comes to, you know, um, like other category of the sentence, which is also an interrogative sentence, is it the right way? You are asking about the probability of you being right or wrong. So that is how there are two categories, but only one thing that you need to remember is, like, if you are adding WH word to this structure, what is it the right way to iron a shirt? So here also you need to remember the structuring in this scenario. WH word will come at the first place and the rest of the structure will remain the same. But we are not talking about the structure, we are talking about the tone here. So declarative will have the declaration tone, interrogative will have the interrogative tone. But you should remember even the structuring for this one, like once you have written down all those questions, you will be able to understand a declarative sentence will have subject in the beginning, helping verb in the second place, main verb in the third place, and object in the last. But when it comes to the interrogative sentence, helping verb will go at the first place, subject will go at the second place, and verb will go at the whatever verb it is will go at the third place, and object will be written like that. But when it comes to the making a declarative sentence with a negative form, then after helping verb we'll put negation sign, and that will never be exchanged with any other place. It will remain there only. Only the helping verb will go at the first place, and then, for example, interrogative negative we are making, then after subject we will put the not. So that's how actually the structuring of such functional sentences also work. You should know about them. For example, the question is, are your shoes on? Somebody is asking whether you are wearing it or not. You are wearing the shoes or not. If somebody is, why are your shoes on? You are asking for a reason that why you have put them on. You know the person is already know about it that you have worn the shoes, and the person is not aware that why the hell have you worn the shoes. So that's how it is. How it is, like you should know about them. So let's go to the next category of the sentence, that is imperative sentence. Imperative sentence. What is imperative sentence? Imperative sentence is a category of the sentence which will actually be telling someone to do something. Telling someone to do something. If I'll tell you to do something, there would be some ways to tell you. I can advise you. I can give you a suggestion, or I can request you, or if I'm your teacher, or I have the authority to actually instruct you, I can instruct you or order you. If I'm a commander in the army, I'll command. If I want to actually be polite, then I'll request. If I just want to give you a suggestion, free of cost, then I'll just go for a suggestion. That all these categories of sentences will be imperative sentences. So when it comes to imperative sentences, there is no subject written in the beginning. There is no subject written in the beginning, let me tell you. Okay. So there is implied subject that has to be in the mind only, that you should know that like whom they are talking to. So for example, somebody said that turn left at the bridge. So somebody is giving you instruction. Somebody is giving you command. Somebody is suggesting you to do something. Even it can be taken in the suggestion form. Turn left at the bridge, but it is an instruction. If I say instruction, that is also imperative sentence. Somebody is trying to tell you to do something, then that can be instruction, that can be a request, that can be in any way, but it won't have a subject in the beginning, like the way he told me to turn the bridge to right to the bridge or something like that. So that won't be imperative, then it will be a different kind of sentence. But here we are talking about the imperative sentence, and imperative sentences can be of three categories. One can be like a sentence with the advice, one can be with the suggestion or a request, or can be order or instruction, depending upon that. So if I say get out, I'm saying it with a tone, so I need to use a exclamation sign. It'll tell you that there is some kind of interjection to be used. Now we discussed about the strong interjection or weak interjection as well in the previous session as well. So there you need to know that like these signs will tell you that these are to be used and when to use them. Okay, but all of them will definitely let you know that how we need to actually speak out the statement. So if we are requesting someone, we will say, please pass me the jam. So we'll have a certain tone of speaking something depending upon what kind of sentence are we talking about, and what kind of sentence, what kind of statement are we making. So now, then thereafter, there is a certain last category that I would tell you that you should remember. That is exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory means like something to be exclaimed, something to be expressed. Expressive sentences. Expressive once. So which will express emotions, which will express emotions, which will exclaim something to the other. Or exclamatory sentences will end up with the exclamation mark, usually with the exclamation mark. And here you will be able to know that whether the exclamation is right or whether it is strong or weak or something. If exclamation is weak, you will put a comma after the exclamation, like alas. If it is weak, then you will put a comma, but it is not weak one, it is strong one, so that's why exclamation sign is along with it. There is no comma after that. If you are putting oh, then this exclamation is weak. You shocked me. But exclamation sign is at the last, just to let you know that it is an exclamatory sentence. Here there is exclamation being done in the sentence. But the way the structuring in this sentence is, you should be able to know that like there is exclamation mark or exclamation emoticon or whatsoever kind of expression. There is interjection, certain interjection, and then thereafter there is a sentence which has a subject, verb, object as same as that of a declarative sentence. So you should know that when exclamatory sentences are to be spoken about, or there has to be subject in the beginning itself. You shocked me. Oh, you shocked me. Whoa, that is fantastic. What a lovely piece of art. A lovely piece of art it is. So if we say it is, then we have what a lovely piece of art. Then thereafter it is would be a again the same kind of declaration, but declaration plus the exclamation would make it a nice combination. A spicy sentence can be made. So that's how it is. You should know about the exclamatory sentences. Thereafter, transition words. What you should know about the transition words is which will make transitions happen. Transitions means are changes. So are used for a smooth flow of ideas in writing. They are used for the smooth flow of ideas in writing. Some of the transition words are above all, accordingly, example, and all the consequently, furthermore, generally, in all these words, these are very, very beautiful one. You need not to actually bother about them. Let me just do the drawing over here for that. So you need not to worry about them. Okay. Once you are clear about the transition words, then you will be able to understand. Now there is other category of the sentence, that is a simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. We will discuss about that within 2 to 3 minutes. Let me bring some water for me, and then we're gonna continue. I'm back. So, um, yeah. So earlier we talked about the kinds of sentences which were based upon um, the function, the way they function, like declaration, the interrogation or exclamation, the way imperative sentences when somebody's asking you or you know requesting you or something. So now we are going to talk about the kinds of sentences based upon the structuring of something that why we need to know just for our knowledge, just for the sake of our knowledge we should know that there is a certain category of sentence which will be called as a simple sentence, and why we are calling it as a simple sentence we should know about that. So let's go for it. So when it comes to a simple sentence consists of independent clause. Let me tell you what is independent clause. A clause, first of all, is a kind of sentence which has a subject and a predicate. And when subject and predicate has their complete meaning in itself, then it will be called as independent clause. Something which is not dependent upon any other clause for its meaning would be independent clause. So a simple sentence will have a certain definition which will have one independent clause. So that's how it is when it comes to a simple sentence. Independent clause contains a subject, verb, or expresses a complete thought. So when it comes to like to understand that one in a simple language, simple sentence has to be a simple one. Simple sentence should have to be that simple that it will tell you that there is only one idea that has been expressed. Simple sentence is the one which will have a subject and a predicate. Simple sentence is something which will have a subject and a predicate. Subject is something that we talk about, like predicate is something that is being spoken about the subject. So Mary likes tea. For example, if I say Mary likes tea, Mary is subject that we talk about. Okay. Likes tea is something that we have said about Mary. So that is our predicate. But it'll have its own meaning. It doesn't depend upon any kind of other sentences for its meaning. That is why we will say that Mary likes tea is the simple sentence. That's the definition of the simple sentence. It'll have one independent clause. One independent clause. Remember that one. It'll be having one independent clause and one predicate. One predicate. Okay. A complete thought. Remember that. Now, another example. We did not go the park. We is the subject. Did not go to the park is the predicate. Only one predicate. There is only one predicate in the simple sentence. Second category of the sentence when it comes to compound sentence, that only one thing that comes to our mind is compound is a word that we have studied in science, in chemistry particularly. Okay. When it comes to chemistry, we have studied about compound to have two things in that. So compound sentence will also in English be like the same, a combination of two or more independent clauses joined either by the coordinating conjunction or a semicolon. It can be a semicolon, it can be a coordinating conjunction. Okay. So when it comes to just a second. Remember. Yeah. So semicolon is actually uh, an alternative for coordinating conjunction. Now you will ask me what is coordinating conjunction? A conjunction which will make coordination between two sentences, especially then two independent clauses, would be coordinating conjunctions. A conjunction which will make coordination between two independent clauses would be a coordinating conjunction. So fanboys is a formula for that same. F for A for N for no, B for but, O for or, E, Y for yet, and S for so. So that's actually is the formula. Usually the people try to cram for the coordinating conjunction. particularly coordinating conjunctions. So compound sentence will always be made with the help of two or more independent clauses joined together by the coordinating conjunction of the semicolon. Each clause, if separated, could form a sentence alone. So that is what the difference is. That is why they are called the independent clauses. Independent clauses won't be depending upon each other or their meaning, but they are joined together, they are added together with the coordinating conjunction. It can be any coordinating conjunction, let me tell you. So that is why, like for example, Alan likes tea and John likes coffee. John likes coffee is a separate idea. Alan likes coffee is a separate idea. Those both are independent clauses. They do not depend upon each other. So that is why when the combination came in between, or the connector came in between, um, and came in between as a coordinating conjunction, then that became one single sentence, but it will not be called as a simple sentence. It will be called as a compound sentence because both have independent ideas of their own and they have different ideas. Let me tell you, our car broke down, semicolon, we came last. That is why, or we can say that semicolon, and we came last. A car broke down, so we came last. If we say so, we came last, and that is why we came last. This is how actually we will say the coordinating conjunction is used. Semicolon can also be used. Both have different subject and different predicate, independent clauses. So independent clauses joined together with a semicolon or the coordinating conjunction, then that would be a compound sentence. That's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Now thereafter, the complex sentence. What is a complex sentence? What is a complex sentence? Complex sentence consists of the independent clause which is not dependent upon anybody, and a dependent clause. And dependent clause is something which will be dependent upon the independent clause. I gave the example for the same on my Facebook channel as well. That like principal is in the school is independent one, will always give directions to the teachers, will always guide the teachers, or regulations will be told by the same identity, you know. Um, so principal will be the independent in case of school. But when it comes to dependent clause, teachers would be the dependent clause, or the ones who would be dependent upon the principal clause, the independent clause. So whenever the dependent clause is spoken, it won't have its complete meaning until or unless it's joined together with the independent clause, that is the principal clause. So to have the proper meaning, the kind of conjunction that will come between the dependent clause and the independent clause would be the subordinating conjunction. It will be subordinating conjunction or the relative pronoun. Okay. A dependent clause contains a subject and a verb. Okay. But it does not express a complete thought. It will have subject and predicate, but will not have the complete thought because it will have the subordinate conjunctions like such, which will answer you when, where, how, and why. You know, all those adverbials, when, where, how, and why, and the rest of the other relative pronoun, that, which, who, whom. He's the boy whom I was looking for, like in that kind of sentence. It is a complex sentence, kind of complex sentence. Do you know the man who is talking to Jim? So something like that. Um, in all these sentences, we can see that we, because we were late. For example, if I say because we were late, it won't have its complete meaning until unless if I say we missed our plane. We missed our plane because we were late. We missed our plane. If is not there, it will not have its meaning. But if we say we missed our plane, it will have its meaning. So it is dependent because we were late will be depending upon we missed our plane. So that's how it is. So subordinating conjunctions, you can see them here only, like when we are getting for when, where, how, and why answers for when, where, how, and why, along with the relative pronouns. Then you will be able to remember that there we are using subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions are those conjunctions which will join together dependent on the independent clause. Now, last category actually, which is actually the combination of two categories of sentences, compound and complex. Altogether, compound complex sentence consists of two independent clauses because there would be compound sentence because there has to be two independent clauses and there has to be one or more dependent clause. That means if we are adding the subordinating conjunction and the use of the coordinating conjunction in between somewhere, then we are making compound complex kind of sentence. So when it comes to the structuring of the same, let me tell you, um, structure of the compound complex sentence can be independent clause joined together with the subordinating conjunction with the dependent clause and coordinating conjunction the independent clause. It depends upon that. So it can be like you can use coordinating conjunction like that. For example, I'll take the B example. He left in a hurry. That's it's complete sense. After he got a phone call. If I say after he got a phone call and I just keep it like that, then it'll be independent clause. But he came back 5 minutes later. But is coordinating conjunction and it has its complete meaning. So these two are independent clauses joined together with the coordinating conjunction, then it'll be a compound sentence. But I have added after he got a phone call. So there we are saying he left in a hurry after he got a phone call, but he came back 5 minutes later. So after he got a phone call is the dependent clause. So if there is a dependent clause and there are two coordinating clauses, sorry, independent clauses joined together with the coordinating conjunction along with the help of the subordinating conjunction, like after here in this case, so then the sentence would be a compound complex kind of sentence. So this is actually the way we divide the different kinds of sentences. One is based upon the functioning of the sentence, other is based upon the structuring of the sentence. And when it comes to the tenses, when it comes to the other categories of the things, then we say there are different other things to be remembered. Now, English lovers by Hannity, that then the next live session would be about the subject verb agreement rules. So we're gonna discuss about that one, why we need to know that this subject verb concord. Then it becomes clear to us that why there is after he, not are after he. So that's how these rules are to be remembered. Okay. Maybe they are boring, but still they are necessary to have accuracy in your grammar. That's how it is. It is what it is. So for now, I have to say bye bye. Kindly share my YouTube channel with your friends and your allies and other people around the world, like whomsoever you know and who want to get the benefit of uh, free of cost, benefit free of cost. Thank you very much for now. I have to say bye bye for now. It's too late.